recording. Okay guys, we are recording now, and in yesterday we finished up to auth, right? We create sign up, login, and what else we create? Display, right? I think yeah, we added the display also. So let's try to log in with the last username. The email was, I think, test 8, right? 8 and 1 2 3 4 5 6, maybe the password. Login. Okay, we are logged in, right? So there is, basically two blog in our database. So that's what we see here, right? Later we're going to delete this with our own image and all that, right? So what we can do is, we have the button here, right? Add blog, correct? We just go here, add blog, and let's create the form, right? Input field, so that we can input the data, right? And submit. So first we have to understand what data we're going to send, right? We have the API. When you send data, we have the API created already in our backend, right? Let's look at that. So in our API, or even in the controller, in the blog controller, if you look at, right, get all blogs, that is fine. Okay, then add blog, right? So we have title, description, image, okay, and then user, right? So this, what is this user? Who is this user, right? That's what we have to understand. The user is the person who is logged in. So we have to send the ID. We are sending the ID of the user, correct? The point is, how we going to get the ID? That's the big question, right? How we going to get the ID? Okay, so in here, okay, first let's create the form, right? And then for the title, description, and image, and then we're going to figure out how to get the ID. So let's do that one. Add blog. I'm going to create a form. So to speed up process, right, what I will do, I'll just copy the login form, right? Sign up form, and just put it here. So let's do that one, and then we're going to figure out how to get the username also, right? Let's see. So we can go back to our front end, source component, and we have the auth right here. So almost will be same, right? So let's copy everything, no need, right? I will just copy the top part first. Also, we don't need all that. Maybe we just need these three things, right? Oh my god, I have some infection in my eye. Sorry guys. Okay, so let's copy this one and go to our add blog right here and put it on the top. Okay, so this is just use state. We're gonna need use effect also, right? Use, because we are dealing with the like sending form, right, or data. So we might maybe want to run that the form basically in the use effect, right? So let's keep it here, use effect, use effect, right? Effect. Okay, I'll just add there. We'll see if we need or not, right? So when you add the form, right, when you submit the data and you want to route to the different page, like in our blog page, right, you want to go to our blog page. So let me turn off my phone, right? Okay, so we're gonna go to the blog page. Okay, so that's why we need this routing, right? Route, and this will help us to move to the blog page. Maybe display all blog, or display the user blog wherever you want to send it, right? So that is what gonna help us to navigate. So we will see when we're gonna use that. Now next is getting the form, right? All the forms. So from auth, what I will do, basically we're gonna need it up to here. So I will just delete if something we don't need, right? So we'll check that. Let's check all this. Okay. So let's look at here, right? You have, when you have use navigate, you have to execute that. You add it to the navigate variable, right? So that we're gonna use. Next will be our data, right? So we don't need this one, okay? We don't need this is sign up and all that. Our data is what? Blog, right? So let's call it blog, okay? The single blog and set blog, right? That is what we're going to call it. And in the blog, what we're going to need, right? You need title, right? You have email, title, okay? You have description, okay? No email, description, right? Because we know, I mean, we have the already idea, right? What we are doing, you have all this input field, and you need to create a state for all the input field, okay? So that is what we are doing. Description, what else we're gonna have? Image, right? Image, okay? And the last one is user. So how are we gonna get the user ID? That's the big question, okay? So we have to figure out, right? So I'm just let's see. So we have to get the user ID here, and we have to figure that out. But for now, let's complete our form, and then we're gonna do that. So here also, so when you sending the data, right? Data. Okay, maybe I think we don't have to do this, right? Here we're just gonna create user ID when we are sending the data, like in the API, right? You're gonna call the API, and then in the back you add the data, correct? Over there we're gonna create the user. So for now we're gonna remove this, or we'll see how we're gonna add, right? We'll see, okay? We're gonna figure out that. So in our form field, we're gonna have title, description, image, so that this handle change will take care of that one, right? We have set blog, so let's change that one here. Set blog, okay? Next, handle toggle, right? So we don't need this one. We don't have any toggling. We just submit the form, right? That's it, okay? Then you have send request. Of course we're gonna need this, right? But here we don't need all this now. What we're gonna need is the API for our adding the blog, right? So what is the API? Let's find out. So in our controller, okay, let's go to the model, sorry, route, right? Let's go to the route and blog route, right? Blog route here. So you just post, right? So the normal, basically the root route slash, that is the only thing we have, right? So I think we should have API slash blog, okay? So to figure to just confirm, right? We will check in our app, and yeah, we have API slash blog. So that will be our route. So let's just add that one. So localhost 5000 API slash blog. Okay, and because this is post, right, it will know what to do, okay? And let's take this out here. No need, right? Now we have to change this data, right? This data will be, first one is title, right? So in title, what we have? Blog dot title, okay? Next one is description, right? So in description, we're gonna add blog dot description, DESCRIP, description, right? We can do that. And what else we can do? The image, right? We have image, so let's add that. Image equal to, yeah, so it will be from blog, right? From the blog we're gonna get image. Clear? All right, so we got all that now, right, ready. But this is the important data, right, which will go in our database. Here I was talking about that user. Okay, we have to pass the user also. User, right, user. So how are we gonna get the user ID, you know? For now I'll just keep it empty. So one way we can take care of this one, right, by saving when somebody sign up or log in, right, their ID we're gonna save to the local storage. Okay, and it will stay in the local storage, right, until unless somebody logged in with new user ID. Okay, and from there we can get, right. So that is one solution for now, because if you stored in the let's say even in the local memory, not memory but in the redux, right, or maybe somewhere you manage the state to store that ID, what happen if the page refresh? That will be gone. Okay, and you don't want that. So the better idea right now for us is to store in the local storage. So how are we going to do that, right? Okay, so when you sign up or log in, what happened when you sign up, right? You getting that data back in our sign up, right? So let's find that out. I hope everyone understand what I said, right? Is that clear? So we can go to the auth here, and in our sign up, so in our sign up, where is the sign up? So on the top here, right? So each sign up true, we are doing sign up here. Okay, so during the sign up, right, we're gonna get the data. So let's see, when send request sign up, so let's see this function, right? What this function is sending us back, see it returning the data, right? So that is the information about the person who is signing up, like ID, username, email, password, all that, right? All the information is in the data, so we can grab that one. Okay, so let's write another then method, right, because this is promise, so you have to get it through the promise. So data, and here, right, so what we can do, so that should be user, right? I believe that is a user. So I mean we can console log and check, right, what we are getting here. Let's console log and check. Okay, data, I mean we can look at here, or we can, what we can do, we can even look at in our user controller. So look at when sign up, right, what you are returning back. So handle this hash password, all that. So final, the last line, right? So user created successfully and user, right? So that will be the property. Okay, that is what you're gonna get. So data dot user, right, and data dot user, and then we're gonna get the ID also, right? So that is what we're gonna get. Okay, but let's console log and see the answer. So now where we are here in the auth, right here in the auth. So first we have to go and, okay, we get some error now, right? Unexpected error has occurred, is sign up is not defined. Okay, so because we copied the file, right, in our add block page, so there is some still need to fix, so let's not worry about that one. What we can do, we're gonna go and sign up and check our console log. Okay, first, so let's do that one. So I will click on sign up button. So let's go to the console, clean up all this, and let's create the user, right, call it test 10. Okay, oh, I want to do sign up, so I just change here, right, sign up. So I will do maybe test 10, or I think 9, we have not created 9, right? So let's add 9, and here will be test 9. Okay, gmail.com, and we just add the password 123456 123456 to remember it, right? So when I click sign up, see we get that, right? Remember the our basically the route we have, our controller, you know, there was a message and the user, right? So data.user, okay, yeah, so we have data.user, so that will give us this object, and inside here, right, we're gonna get the ID. Yeah, so we have underscore ID, and that is what we're gonna store in our local storage. Okay, so now the question is how we're gonna store in the local storage, right? All right, so how we're going to store in the local storage? So here we're going to write some command, right? I mean, the local storage is the global function, right? Access everywhere, you can access anywhere. Okay, as long as you have JavaScript place to write JavaScript code, you can get that. So local storage, see, right, dot set item, right? That is the one which we use to setting the item to local storage. And here I will give the name, right, in which name you want to save the data. So I will call it user, user user ID. Okay, and I will pass the ID now, right? That is data, so that will be data dot user, right? User dot, and there is the underscore ID, correct? All right, so we have to do the same thing, right? Also for the when you log in, you want to save also. Okay, so let's do that. Same thing you can do, right? And that will be fine. So we just place here. So either you log in or you sign up, right? You're gonna have that ID saved in the local storage. And now if some other person log, right, again same thing, because same function is going to run, and it will create in this name, right? It will just add the new ID there. So there will be always someone with the ID, user ID, but whoever is the login, right, or sign up, that person ID will be saved. So let's check now, right? Let's check. Okay, so if you go to the application, right, here you see now this ID is saved already, right? This is the person, the one I just logged in, right? I'm logged in, so my ID is saved already. Look at that. So I can access that using user ID, this name, the key, right? That is the key and the value. So I can access that using this key. So let's now get that also. So now I have available, I can use wherever I need to verify something, right? I can call the ID now from the local storage. Okay, so now what we can do is so we are in the add blog, right? Add blog. So let's go back here, and we just let's see, right? So we can, yeah, we can blog.image or this. So we can just write here. Okay, let's write local storage dot, right? Last time was set, right? So this time we get item. Okay, get item, and the item will be the user ID, right? That is user ID. Okay, so now every time when you create the new blog, you're gonna have title, description, image, and the user ID submitted to the database. Okay, now there, if there is error, it will console log error. Then you have data, same thing, right? Return the data. All right, now we have handle submit. So when you submit the form, there will be handle submit, so leave that one. Prevent default, so we don't need to do all this, right? We don't need to do all this, so delete that. So what we do is here, right, what we're gonna do is call the function send request. Okay, send request function. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, just give me a second, right? I will be back. All right. So let's continue. So we're just gonna call this function, right, send request, and this function will take care basically the whole process here, right? You know, calling the API, getting all the data, and then returning this data, right? So in this post action, it will send the data, right, to our database. So here what we can do, right, I mean we can just write maybe dot then, right, and we just console log something. Okay, so that would be callback function, and maybe just to get the data, because we also returning the data, right? Let's see what we're getting. So console log, oh, console dot log the data. Okay, data, right? And yeah, so save this. So this function is just run, right? This function on the handle submit, it will run, and that is all right. So we just refactor everything. Now we have to fix our form, right? So let's leave all this one. We don't, so here we don't need this in our h2, right? We can write maybe h1 or h2, that's fine. What we can do is we can call it let's say add blog, right? Add blog. Okay, add blog or post blog, something like that. Then next one is handle submit, that is form, that is fine. So the input now, right, the input, so we don't need this part. Okay, so label will be, first one is title, right? So let's give it title. I'm just now refactoring the form. Okay, so it's just give it title here, title, right? Now the input is text, and id name will be title, and the name will be also title. Autocomplete, let's keep it, maybe we don't need, but still required, fine, yes, needed. And the value will be, so we have now blog, right? Remember in our state here what we have, the blog. This is the state, this is the state where when you type in the field, right, it will update automatically using the handle change function. Okay, so the blog dot title, if you need to access this title, you have to use the variable blog dot title, blog dot description, blog dot image. That's how we access the data from the state, right? Similarly, that's what we have done here, blog dot title, because this API you have to send the object also, all our data. So from the variable blog dot title, blog dot description, image, and all that we get. Okay, so let's go back to the form. So we are add blog, is that form, handle submit, title, then we're gonna call it here, the value will be blog dot title. Okay, and the handle change is fine, right? That is fine, we can leave it. So now we don't need all this conditional rendering, right? No need. Okay, so we start the next one right here, next div. So this time will be description, right? And input will be again, I mean you can change here description, let's call it DESC, right? DESC. so ID will be DESC. You can give the name, right? So name has to be same. Okay, same according to our database name. So because we are mapping the name also, that's why it has to be same matching name. CRIP description, it must be matched with our model name. Okay, here we can make it DESC, that's fine, required. So here will be from blog we are getting the description. Okay, and handle change will be there, fine. So now next one is the, so we get the title, description, right? Title, description, and what else? next is image, right? So let's make the image here, image, call it image, right? And the type will be text, and ID will be image, and name will be image also, and the autocomplete, let's keep it image. And here, right, we can make a blog dot image, okay, and handle change is there. Okay, fine. Now is a submit button, the button, right? We're going to submit that button and our data will be sent. So here we have anything? No. So this submit button is here. Okay, let's change that, right, and call it add blog, like that, blog, right? So that is div for the button, and this one we don't need, right? So yeah, so I will close and delete this. Okay, save. So let's look at now, right, see how it looks. Okay, we can maybe change the size also here, right, little bit, make it big, but fine. So let's go to the add blog, and you see it looks something like this. So it just looks something like this, right? Title, description, image. We can increase, we can increase maybe a little bit. If you want, you can increase the size. So let's see, the box is, where is the box here, right? MD, yeah, so this is the one which controlling. So we can make it, maybe we can give maybe 2XL. Is that okay? Let's see what is the size, right? That is 672 pixel. 672 pixels. So that is fine now, right? Yeah, it just get little big. Okay, so we can now add the title, you can add description, you can add the image link, and then add blog, right? Click on add blog, and it should submit the data. Okay, so it should submit the data, right? So I'm logged in already, I'm logged in. Okay, I think we have yeah, I'm already logged in, right? But soon we add the blog. Let's say we input a data, we click add blog, the data will be go to the database. But soon after submitting the button, right, we maybe want to go to the blog page, display the blog, right? blog page. So that's why we have navigate. Remember the navigate here, navigate, right? Use navigate function. So let's navigate to the blog page. So where we can do that? So handle submit is here, right? Okay, handle submit. You console log data also, fine. Now what I will do, right, I'm just gonna write one more dot then. Why I'm doing this, right? Because I want to switch to the next page only after all the above steps happen. That's why the promise is basically like a chain. It will finish this part of work, then only it will go to the next part. When this part is success, then only it will move to the next part. Okay, that's how promise work. So here we can just call navigate, right, and then send the the route. So that will be, I believe, blogs, right? Just blog. So let's check the route. We can check it in our app right here. Yeah, so that is blogs. So when I have localhost slash something, right, slash blogs, it will be this component displayed. Okay, all right, so that is also taken care. So I think we can try to add now, right, and see if this work. Okay, so let's go back here. Anything more we can do? I think it's good enough. So yeah, so let's try to add data and see if this working. I will inspect to check if the data is coming here or not, right? So the title will be let's say visit London, right? Visit London, visit, or something like that, right? London visit. visit. Okay, and description maybe I can find one image also, right? So up splash, up splash, right? What was that? On splash, yeah. So I will just maybe get this image, something the old, yeah. So copy the image address, fine, and so description will be it was good time last year in London, right? London, okay. And then I paste the image here, okay. And let's click add blog button, right? Finger cross, and see if this work. Okay, we get error, right? API blog, so it did not work. So localhost 5000 API blog 5000 API/blog, right? So what is the error here? So let's check. Uncaught promise type cannot read properties of undefined reading data, right? Reading data. Reading data. So there is something wrong in our page now. Okay, so when we adding the blog, right, what we are returning there, we have to check what we are returning, because we're just reading the data directly, right? So let's check the API one time, okay? Uh, let's go to the API and see if we can figure out. So add blog, okay, so we're getting title, description, image, user, that's fine. Check for existing user, user at find user, okay, so there is existing user, and finally we are returning back the blog, right? Okay, we are getting this blog. Okay, so the add blog. So now let's go to the route, blog route, right here. So post, you just add blog here, simple add blog, right? So post add blog. Can we maybe just change to add, right? I mean, we don't have to, but let's try that. Let's. So this is not used anywhere yet, so that's fine. So add blog, and then in our app, right? API blog / add. Now our route will be API blog / app, right? So let's figure that out now. So I don't know why this error. Post localhost 5000 API/blog. Oh, okay. Now Axios, not Axios, right? Okay, fine. Because we have not imported the Axios, I believe, So add blog. So we are using Axios. Do we have Axios imported here? Oh, we have, right? Okay. We are not using this. Remove that one also.